So that's a really good question. And I think back to this day where I was in the bathroom and I was bleeding, and I was bleeding profusely, and blood just kept coming from me. And at the time, I knew what was going on, but it was so intense. I was really scared. And what was happening was I was giving birth to what would have been, at that time, my 17-week-old child. I was having a miscarriage. And it was something really unexpected. It was something that was a very painful experience in my life. And even after everything passed, I was still bleeding. It was the middle of the night. My husband was gone traveling for work. So I was there by myself. And I called my mother in law, and she rushed me to the hospital because I was still bleeding so much. And time passed. And this situation really caused me to pause. At that time, I was working for a very high profile government agency and working on a really important project that was helping people globally across the world. And although I was doing work, and supposedly like good things, it wasn't what my heart desired for me to do. It wasn't what lit me up. It wasn't what brought me joy. And I was really running my body into the ground at that point in time. I was going, going, going. I was traveling every single week. And this was during a time where people were not traveling as much, but I was on a plane every week, going places. And I was doing a lot to my body and a lot to my health. And there was a lot going on with my hormones as well. And I had spent the last several years working in this industry. I was in the pharmaceutical industry, and I worked on over 5 trials that received FDA approval. And that's something that does not happen in many people's careers at all, to even work on one. But it seemed like just this path that I kept going on, and the contracts and the work that I was doing, I was always on these trials. So I worked on trials, cancer trials that have been approved, endometriosis, fibroids, and also some of the things that happened along the lines while COVID was going on as well. So for me, I had this very inside look of what was going on with the current things that were under research, and the things that were possibly going to market to provide for issues that were for women that were dealing with hormonal issues, as well as chronic health issues as well. So I have this like inside look at things. Okay. So there I was at this point doing very, very well in my career. And before I kind of took that direction with my career, I did work in private practice. I had my own private practice, and I would do some functional medicine in my practice, but it was very difficult to do, just the way patient flow was. And I really didn't have structures in place, because when you do functional medicine, you've really got to be able to be with people, and their lifestyle and what's going on in their lives, and help them make major changes. And you don't typically have that um, time freedom to do that when you're in private practice. Patients are coming in, they're going out, you have other patients coming in right behind them. But I always said, and part of my story of leaving private practice was that I was in a very volatile marriage, and going through a divorce. I was a single mom and not doing well financially. And my one of my friends directed me towards moving into research. And I love research. I love data. I love numbers. So I did that, and I did very well with it. I had a business doing it and was doing very well financially there. And I had always told myself, once I hit this like level financially, I'll go back and do what I really love, which was functional medicine. And I didn't. I just kept going. It was like I never wanted to get myself back in the position of being in survival mode, but I didn't realize I was kind of stuck in it at that time too. Like I was still stuck in this grind of going, 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 and building my career. But having that miscarriage really caused me to pause and look at my life, and really look at the type of, you know, where I wanted to be with my profession, what I was doing with my family, the time that I had with my kids, and what was going on with my health as well. So I just stopped. I'm the type of person that I put in like 6 week notice, you know, maybe even 8 weeks. And I make sure that everything is passed off. Do you need me to train the next person? You know, make sure that everything's in order. And I literally just stopped. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. That's how hard that hit me. And it was really a blessing. You know, I did not give birth to the child that I intended to give birth to, but I gave birth to, you know, what we know today, you know, of the company that I have, and just being able to help women, you know, and all the things that I've been able to create from them. And since then, I've had another baby, you know, which is my rainbow baby, who I absolutely love. And we may have a few more. We'll see. Um, but it, you know, it's been a blessing. So I've been doing this for many years. And my time has been a mixture of working on the inside of seeing what's going on with patients and volunteers and all of those, the women that are dealing with endometriosis and fibroids from a different perspective, you know, where they were maybe looking for drug treatment, and then also working with women who are looking for the natural and holistic approach to things, which is the way that I do things. So everything that I do is without drugs or surgery.